Today's session went pretty well. I'm still working my way through this Squat Everyday book by Matt Perryman. And one of the things that they get into discussing is that when you train this way, building to a daily max every single day or high frequency, so for me it's 4 times a week, you need to not get too aroused for the session or get really hyped to lift and just build to like a really conservative max. So you would have seen yesterday I went to failure. I wanted to get a real idea of what my true 1RM is. And today I was trying to be more sensible, just build to that conservative max that they talk about, and just experiment with a few of the ideas in this book. So I did that today. I usually always take like a pre-workout, put really loud music on, and get up for the session. I enjoy training that way. So it was really hard today for me to force myself to not do that kind of stuff. So yeah, I just went in, didn't have any pre-workout, didn't put my music on, any of that kind of stuff. Just started squatting and built up to a max. And I knew from yesterday, because I hit that 170, which felt okay, failed the 180. So I thought today I would be at about 160, which is what I ended up hitting. And it felt really controlled. It felt like I could hit that any day of the week. I did want to front squat, but from going heavier yesterday, just like having the bar on that rack position on my shoulders, it was really painful. So I stuck to back squats. But going into, like I said yesterday, going into this program next week, I'm going to alternate between front and back squats. For me, there's next to like no difference in the weight I can lift front squat, back squat anyway. But the front squat just feels like I can get into a better position and use my legs more. And then what I was going back and forth in my head today, and again, this is like the biggest challenge with the Squat Everyday program, is how do you fit in your deadlift training? Because it's the most fatiguing of any lift in the gym you can do, and which kind of makes sense, kind of doesn't, because it doesn't have an eccentric component, which is normally where you get the most muscle damage and that kind of stuff. But just breaking that bar from the floor, I don't know if it's like mentally or whatever it is, but yeah, going from that, like in the name deadlift, going from that dead start position, for whatever reason, just makes it really taxing. So a few other things, I've been reading Greg Knuckles' Bulgarian manual, and he recommends just doing like speed singles or doubles. I did similar to what Matt Perryman says in his book, just do some like more submaximal work once or twice per week. Even like if you look at some of the like more famous strength training programs like Texas Method, they'll use cleans instead of deadlifts once you get to a certain strength. I don't really. I'm not bad at Olympic lifting. I just don't enjoy doing it, so I'm not going to do that. So I think I'm going to go with the speed option. What I did today was just, I think I did 3 or 4 triples on 170, which is not that heavy for me. My max is 240. I'm just going to work out that as a percentage. So yeah, like 70%. And the way I'm just forcing myself to limit the intensity on this day was just by going double overhand and not using straps. So I stuck on 170, which is in this next clip. What you saw here was just 3 back off sets at about 80%, so 3 sets of 5 on 130, and then yeah, working up to 170 on the deadlift. This was just a warm up set. But it's amazing. I wear straps like pretty religiously, and my grip felt so weak on these. So it'll probably be a good thing for me to do going forwards. I might go strapless on one session, then put them on for the other one, and I think it will let me get better speed and a bit more intent out of the lift when I do use them. But yeah, I'm gonna pull twice per week, 1 sumo session, 1 conventional session, and then I'm just going to do other posterior chain work that's not as taxing, so like glute ham raises and that kind of stuff, to get more volume in. And the other thing that I was thinking about in this session is that, like, this goes back to some of Poliquin's work, but that continuum of like neuromuscular to structural adaptation, with like 1 rep being more neuromuscular, or I should say neural, not neuromuscular, and down the other end of like 20 reps being more structural adaptation. So, and I'm always a big fan of like polarizing my programming, so I'll either go for neural or for structural. which is what I do in like the running programs I do at work and that kind of stuff. Like that polarized model has become quite popular in the endurance world, but I feel like it's not really used in the strength training world. And maybe that's because people mainly want to get bigger and stronger, so they always go like in that kind of middle ground of like, I don't know, 5 to 10 reps. You'd rarely see like people just do singles and people just do like 12 to 20 reps, um, which is actually quite a cool idea. I might play around with that in like a few months' time once I've got through this training program that I want to do now. But the assistance work I did today, I was like, I'm just going to go after structure, do sets of 20. And then yesterday I tried the behind the neck presses, which didn't feel that good. So today I just went dumbbell overhead press. And my right scapular, I spent years like trying to pin my shoulder blades down, which like now I'm a bit more educated, I realise how stupid it was. But my right shoulder sometimes feels like still really glued down. So I was trying to play around with that today and seeing like I could not get it to pinch. So trying to get my right scap to like rotate upwards and out, which frees up space in the subacromial, space. So I should get less impingement when I focus on doing that. And to do that here, I'm just thinking about like trying to touch the roof with the dumbbells to really get my scaps to uply rotate. But as I get fatigued through the sets, I try and I almost like default to that pattern of like pulling my shoulder blades back and down, which is really annoying because it doesn't feel great on my shoulders. And then leading on to yesterday, like I said, I've done a load of band assisted pull-ups recently, so I'm trying to do more like higher load pull-ups now. So I just did a few weighted triples today with the 7.5, and I think my PB on this is, I want to say 30 kilograms, but I set of 3 or 5, which was underhand, not neutral grip. But yeah, hopefully throughout this block I'll improve on that. And then I finish with like a couple of sets of 20 on back squat again, just like playing with that idea of the continuum of neuromuscular to metabolic or structural. And yeah, a set of 20 on squats just feels great for your legs. It always makes me think of that tagline of like movement is medicine. But anyway, that was today's session, and thank you again for watching. It has been like another week of experimentation for me these last couple of days, but I've got a really clear plan going into the week ahead now, for myself and my online clients. So thank you again for watching, and I'll be back again tomorrow with Monday's training day.